On a branch deep in the Amazon, something orange is moving. Slowly, side to side, its body covered in long, pale hairs. And every animal in this forest already knows what that means. Do not touch it, because those hairs carry venom. And a single brush against them burns like fire for hours. Except, this is not a caterpillar. It has no legs. This is a bird, one of the strangest ever found in the Amazon. And almost nothing about the way it is born.
The adult is called the cinereous mourner, Laniocera hypopyra. And it is grey, plain, about 20 centimeters long, and it will sit completely still in the dark understory.
The adult bird uses the forest's natural shadows to become practically invisible to predators, barely blinking, so that most people...
That is the entire point. And it works so well that although this bird lives right across the Amazon basin, Peru, Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, the Guianas, more than a century went by without anyone describing its nest. Not one nest, not a single egg, anywhere in the scientific record. That changed only recently. In the forests of southern Peru, when a team of researchers finally found one. And what was sitting inside it?
VO should not have been there. It begins months earlier with a sound.
A slow, clear whistle rising through the understory before the heat of the day arrives, repeated from the same perch.
Day after day for weeks. The male is not calling to the forest. He is calling to one bird.
Because in a place this dense, sound travels where sight cannot. And somewhere, out in the shadows,
the female moves cautiously through the shadows, responding to the male's distant call.
The male and female bird now perch side by side on the same thin branch. They face in opposite directions, remain
unrecorded to this day. But we know what comes next, because it leaves something behind.
Rachans. The female begins the perilous task of finding a nesting site close to the dangerous forest floor.
The most dangerous height in the Amazon. Because snakes climb here, monkeys travel here, and army ants sweep through here in columns that strip everything they cross. In this forest, roughly 4 out of 5 open nests are destroyed before a chick ever leaves them. So the obvious question is why she would choose this height at all. The answer is that there is nowhere better. Above her, the canopy belongs to toucans.
Below her, everything with teeth is hunting the ground, and the understory is not safe.
It is simply the least unsafe place available to her. So she finds a thin fork, shaded, half buried in dead leaves.
And she begins to build. What she builds is not a fortress. It is the opposite.
A shallow, open cup of dark rootlets and fine plant fiber, so thin and so loosely woven that you can see daylight straight through the floor of it. That looks like failure, but it is strategy. Because a thick, solid nest is a shape, and a shape is a signal. The predators here do not hunt birds.
They hunt patterns, and a loose tangle of fiber sitting in a fork simply reads as debris, as nothing worth climbing for.
She works slowly over days, carrying material in short, quiet flights.
And when the nest is finally finished, she lays exactly 1 egg.
1 egg. Not 4, not 6. 1 egg for an entire breeding season, which for most small birds would be nothing short of reproductive suicide. A blue tit lays 10. A sparrow lays 5 and does it twice a year. And the logic behind that is obvious. More eggs mean more chances. So what exactly is this bird doing? The answer is arithmetic, in a place where almost everything fails. If the great majority of nests are lost anyway, then the number of eggs barely matters. And what matters instead is whether the nest is ever found at all. From this moment on, the parents make the same decision.
Stay away! Stay away!
But every visit is a thread, and enough threads will eventually lead something straight home.
So the mourner does something that looks, to us, almost exactly like neglect. It returns roughly once an hour.
The single speckled egg sits motionless in the flimsy twig nest, completely unattended in the dark understory. And for weeks, the single egg sits alone in the heat, warmed in long, patient shifts, until one morning, it cracks.
What comes out of that egg is not gray. It is bright orange, the color of a warning.
And its down is not soft at all, but long, thin, and hair-like, standing out from its body in every direction.
Every filament ends in a pale, whitish tip, and scattered across the orange are dozens of small, black spots.
So that scene from above, which is exactly how a predator sees into a nest, the chick reads as something bristled, spotted, and hairy. And in this forest, there is exactly one thing that looks like that. The caterpillar of a flannel moth, Megalopyge.
Twinkle. The caterpillar's fluffy exterior hides a potent venom that commands universal respect, whose hairs hide venomous spines.
Nothing in the Amazon eats one of them twice. And a small, defenseless, newly hatched bird with no venom of its own has somehow learned to wear its costume. Biologists call this Batesian mimicry, the harmless copying the dangerous. It is common enough in insects and in snakes,
But in birds, it is almost unheard of. And this remains one of the very few cases ever documented.
the color, though, is only half of
Not freeze, and it does not beg. It begins to move its head slowly from side to side.
Rolling, deliberate, the exact motion of a caterpillar crawling along a branch, a newly hatched bird performing an animal it has never seen.
And here is the part that is hardest to explain. It will not break the act, even for its own parents.
And it begs only when it hears one specific call, staying a caterpillar until that sound arrives.
The disguise buys time, and time is exactly what this chick needs.
Because it will stay in that nest for around 20 days. Extraordinarily long for a bird this small.
Fed roughly once an hour, growing slowly, because slow is quiet.
Most small birds in this forest are out of the nest in half that time, and every extra day is another day of being found.
The parents maintain extreme cleanliness to prevent any scent from giving away the nest's location.
The chick, now visibly larger but still covered in bright orange down, stands up in the center of the small net. Gray feathers push through, and the warning fades into the very shadows the chick was born in. The caterpillar disappears. A mourner takes its place.
And what is left is one egg. And almost everything else about this bird, we still do not know.
The chick survives to see another day, its extraordinary evolutionary adaptation proving successful.
The Cinereus mourner chick is now a fledgling, shedding its vibrant orange disguise for the subtle grey and brown of adulthood.